Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots. Is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Gotta like that start. 14 yards to get him going. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. He's got a man complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. Zerline connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Jones and the Pats now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First carry for Damian Harris, the Alabama man. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. This defense for the Steelers, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
And look good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. They swallowed. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Down to about the 37.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run again with Harris. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Here's Mayfield. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Now a first down carry for Harris. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. 10 more there and another first down.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
No gain on the play there. Second down. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Mayfield steps away to his left, and he's going to go down again. Big Raekwon Davis, the man fighting in for that sack.
Really talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
New England with a first down as they begin the drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run again with Harris. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. The Patriots at 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season. And they fell in the opener, got back on the beam with a win in week 2, but stumbled again last week to fall under 500.
And despite that stumble, I don't think anyone's too concerned because they've made mistakes that they believe are correctable.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline. And now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA's. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Point it right, point it right, point it right.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he's going to take this down close to the first as he's brought down at the Patriots 16. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Mayfield on 3rd and 2. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. Touchdown! Jarvis Landry, his first touchdown on the year. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Zerline good with a PAT, and that makes our score 17-0. Here's the Steelers' kick team as they'll boot this one away.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
On 2nd and 10, Jones. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
Throwing Jones. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Martin, the return. 39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal on their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
From just shy of midfield, Mayfield. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him.
And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the Patriots are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Harris running straight ahead. taken down at the 42.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Jones. Hunter Henry brings it in. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And they get Jones for the 3rd time in this ball game. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And the Steelers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 46 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line. Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
There goes a deep ball, end zone, and that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. Matthew Judon in there to take him down. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. And deep to return it is Marcus Jones. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A quick pass out to Aguilar. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 18 more yards there and another first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball. And what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
The 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back in the 24. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as he'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. Badgley able to knock this one through, and they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. And maybe a moral victory of sorts. They're on the board here late in the first half, but this offense just hasn't looked that sharp.
Yeah, but at least they got the 3 points, right? At least they have something to, quote-unquote, hang their hats on and maybe feel a little bit better about themselves as they head to the half.
Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a caution.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Patriots trailing here, but they will have the football first as the third quarter is underway. And Marcus Jones going to elect to bring this one out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. To throw on 3rd down, Jones. And that will be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Now it's Martin. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll start the drive with Harris, and he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the 1st down carry.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Mayfield. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Mayfield looks to throw. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead. And thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Jones. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Harris going to get it again on second down. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. On third down, Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for New England. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return on this one as that kick's out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability. And that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
Drafted him in the spring. Here he is early in the fall making an impact. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They hand this off to Harris. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Point it right, point it right, point it right. Stop.
3rd and short yardage. Mayfield, the quick slant caught. And in for the Steelers touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Zerline connects on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Carlton Davis picks it, and he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. But just add that to the list of great moments for this defense today. They've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick 6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick 6?
The Pats at the line, ready to go. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Open man is Jacoby Myers. He's got it. And he will have a Patriots 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They'll look to throw again. Keeps himself upright. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it. Back to throw again. He's got it complete to Aguilar. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
First and goal at the 2-yard line.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Mac Jones taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Patriots are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. Harris starts the drive on the ground. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 73 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. On 2nd and a yard, Mayfield. He's got a man complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. It's a gain of 34. Going to run the toss here to Harris. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. 1 yard is the loss. They back up even further to a 3rd and 15.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'll tell you what, it has not been with a whole lot of frequency over the last couple of decades or so that teams have come into New England and escaped with a victory. But that's what happened here.
It almost doesn't feel real, does it?
We've seen it so few times.
That actually happened, right? We saw it. They came out of there with a win. And on the other side, in that locker room, you know what they're saying? We didn't really lose. Time just ran out on us. That's the attitude they have because they don't see it happen very often, not even sure how to handle it.
And you see some stunned faces heading for the exits here in New England. So for Pittsburgh, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will head home for next week's contest. That is against Washington. Meanwhile, for New England, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions.